Chapter 843, A Cult of Robots. At the Gotham Royal York Mall, everyone was running for their lives in fear. The mall was under siege by the evil terrorist organization called the Ten Rings. *****. While Tony Stark is in Afghanistan to demonstrate Stark Industries' new Jericho missile, a group of terrorists attack the convoy he is on, killing everyone but Stark. He is kidnapped by the terrorists, led by Zaza, who introduce themselves as the Ten Rings. They demand that Stark build a Jericho missile for them. He refuses, so they begin to torture Stark. Hours later, the terrorists show off a huge stockpile of weapons, all made by Stark Industries. Tony appears to relent and start building the missile, but has other plans. With the help of fellow captive Yinsen, Tony constructs a tiny device called an arc reactor, a new type of power generator, streamlined from a much bigger design used in one of his company's factory. The power output is enough to run Stark's heart for 50 lifetimes, or something much bigger for about 15 minutes. Tony designs a way out for himself and Yinsen, a powered weapon suit that he will wear and use to defeat the terrorists. Midway through construction, the apparent head of the Ten Rings, a man named Zaza, arrives and attempts to torture Yinsen, angry because he thinks Stark is not working on the Jericho as they wanted. Zaza gives them one more day to finish. Working overnight, Yinsen straps Tony into the completed armored suit, telling him the way out of the cave. They set off a bomb inside the cell as a distraction for the guards as Tony powers up his suit. Yinsen realizes that they will not have enough time. He grabs a gun and runs off to distract the surviving guards. Tony, fully powered, muscles his way through the cave. The guards try to stop, but his suit easily deflects their weapon fire. Halfway out, Stark finds Yinsen, mortally wounded. Tony tearfully thanks Yinsen for saving him, and Yinsen encourages Tony to not waste his life as he dies. Tony turns his suit on the terrorists, igniting flamethrowers. He destroys their stockpile of weapons and uses a rudimentary jetpack to blast away from the captive zone. The armor is ruined as he crash lands into a sand dune, but he escapes alive. Months later, Tony learns that the Ten Rings is using weapons created by Stark Industries to terrorize the Middle East, and that Obadiah Stane was dealing them weapons behind Stark's back. Stark dons his Iron Man suit for the first time and flies to the Middle East. Within seconds, he defeats the terrorists. The armor's superior targeting allows him to kill a group using civilians as human shields without harming the hostages and destroys the weapons they had obtained. The leader of the group tries in one of the buildings to hide, only to find a red and gold arm smash through the wall and yank him back out into the street. Iron Man then hands him over to the villagers, saying he's all yours, before taking off. Not long after this, the Ten Rings are visited by none other than Obadiah. It is revealed that Stane paid the Ten Rings members to kill Stark, but they realized who Stark was and demanded a much higher price. After killing Zaza, Obadiah takes the remnants of the Mark I armor they have gathered. In a deleted scene from Iron Man 2, an unnamed Ten Rings agent gives Ivan Vanko a pass to enter the Pre-Demonicos so that he can kill Stark, though this failed. In Iron Man 3, Aldrich Killian uses the Ten Rings name, and hires drunken British actor Trevor Slattery to use the Mandarin persona to mask his failed extremist experiments as purposeful attacks on the military. After Aldrich Killian dies, and Trevor Slattery is placed in Seagate Prison, an undercover Ten Rings agent, Jackson Norris, breaks Slattery out of prison, and informs him that the real Mandarin wants to meet him after Trevor made a mockery of his beliefs. As Darren Cross was holding an auction for his yellow jacket suit at the PIM Technologies headquarters, a buyer working for both Hydra and the Ten Rings was seen attempting to buy it. As Ant-Man entered the room, a fight had ensued, with the buyer being knocked out and later killed when the building imploded. The Ten Rings had hostages in the mall, and it was wired to blow with 8,000 pounds of C4 explosives. Nico was outside the mall, and with him and the Transformers were the Operation Overdrive Power Rangers. Nico, to the Overdrive Rangers, you picked a perfect time to meet us. We really need help getting these hostages out. And JD and the others won't get here in time. Mac, what's the plan? Nico, to Will Aston. Will, you and Soundwave will keep a lookout for any of the terrorists trying to ambush us. Will Aston, got it, Nico. Soundwave, affirmative. Nico, to Rose Ortiz. Rose, you and Mirage use your invisibility to take care of the guards. Rose, right. Mirage, it would be our pleasure. Nico, to Ronnie. Ronnie, you get the hostages out. Trailbreaker, use your force field to shield Ronnie from any gunfire. Ronnie, smirks, speed's my middle name. Trailbreaker, I'll make sure my force field doesn't drop. Nico, Dax, you and Laserbeak take out the snipers on the upper floor. Dax, Laserbeak nods, you can count on me. Nico, Tizan, you, William, and Maria deactivate the bombs that the terrorists placed around the mall. Tizan, I won't let you down. Maria, salutes, aye aye. William, I'm glad my uncle taught me how to defuse bombs. I even deactivated some when we were fighting XANA. Nico, after you guys do your parts, me and Mac will bust in and kill the terrorists that are left. Frenzy, it's good to have the old Nico back. Rumble, any Nico's better than the mopey and depressed Nico we've had to deal with for the last few days. Lasher, weren't these guys in cahoots with Iron Monger before? Nico, yes they were. They also captured Tony Stark to try and get him to build a bomb powerful enough to destroy the United States. Agony, that's horrible. Nico, it is. Let's go. They put their plan into action and they got the hostages out, killed the snipers, defused the bombs, and they also arrested some of them after tying them up. Iron Man then busted in. Iron Man, to the terrorists, hi there. Remember me? Fires repulsors. He blasted some of the terrorists. They blasted and killed all the rest of the terrorists and they arrested them as well. We then busted in with a massive fiery explosion and a phoenix cry was heard and we saw that Nico and everyone had everything under control. Me? Whoa. You had everything under control, Nico. Nico, we sure did. Lainey, thank goodness. We saw the Operation Overdrive Rangers. Me? No way. The Operation Overdrive Power Rangers. Mac, it's an honor to meet you, JD. Rose, same here. Me, you guys are so awesome how you burned rubber against Molter and Flurious. Maria, that was so cool. Me, it sure was. I went over Molter and Flurious's history. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Molter. When they were once humans, Molter and his brother, Flurious, tried to obtain the Corona Aurora, but he was transformed into a fiery, dragon-like being. He was then imprisoned in a distant planet, only to be freed when Andrew Hartford discovered the Corona Aurora. Molter set out to obtain the jewels of the Corona Aurora, before Flurious could, whom he held a grudge against. He attacked Andrew Hartford to try and get the crown, setting off a volcano after getting what he thought was the crown. It was actually a clever fake, but Molter captured Andrew and the real crown and tried to make the explorer help him get the jewels. However, the Rangers arrived and saved Andrew, destroying a monster Molter sent against them. Flurious confronted the fire being, demanding the crown, and they fought, ending in a tie and agreed to be enemies. At one point, Molter tried to gain his brother's respect by creating a device to control weather. However, Molter lost control of it, leaving the Power Rangers to destroy it, and Flurious mocked him for his failure. After this, the fire being transformed one of his lava lizards into a half-dragon monster named Vulcan. In order to make him invincible, Molter went after a dragon scale that the Rangers were also trying to get. After a fight with the Rangers, he got the scale and planned to use intense heat to completely empower Vulcan. However, the Rangers interfered and took the scale, destroying Vulcan with their new drill blaster weapon. Later, Molter received a proposal from his brother to join forces, since now Camder and Myratrix were also looking for the Corona Aurora's jewels. Using two giant robots Molter was constructing, he and Flurious were able to take down the Rangers and disable their Megazord. They managed to take Mac, the Red Ranger, prisoner, but he was able to play on their hatred towards each other to make Molter and Flurious enemies again. He managed to escape with the Megazord and with the other Rangers' help, destroy Molter's robots. After this, when Myratrix and Camder obtained a parchment that led to the Toru Diamond, one of the jewels of the Corona Aurora, Molter sent a monster to take care of them. They managed to bury the monster in a cave and then created monsters of their own, as well as brainwash stunt actors to become their army. Molter engaged them with his own forces, but the Rangers joined the fight and Dax brought in the Transtech armor. The Fire Being and Camder teamed up temporarily to fight the armor, but both lost and retreated, with the parchment falling into the Rangers' hands. So as to get the parchment back, Molter sent Tizan, a good alien who he'd turned into a monster, promising to change him back if he served him, to get it back, along with the monster, Bulox. However, in the struggle, the most important piece was torn off and ended up in Mac's hands. Molter sent the two to get the piece, but Tizan was convinced to turn against the Fire Being. He told his former master he wouldn't help him anymore and eventually helped the Rangers get the diamond, with the Rangers restoring him to normal. Later the Lava Lizards retrieved a map to Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, for Molter from a museum in Norway, but the Rangers arrived at the rainforest he met up with them in. The Fire Being managed to defeat them and returned to his lair to find Norg, who had left Flurious after the Ice Being had gotten mad at him. The Yeti gave Molter chiller stones to let him stay and he commanded Norg to clean his lair, before going to find Mjolnir. After the Rangers arrived, he released the chillers against them and continued searching for the hammer. Tizan and Will caught up with him and Molter released more chillers to fight them. Tizan went after him and managed to get Mjolnir first, prompting the Fire Being to engage him and succeeded in taking the hammer. When all the Rangers caught up with him and defeated his lava lizards, Molter used Mjolnir to resurrect 3 lava lizards in giant size, more than twice the size of the Drivemax Ultrazard. Tizan managed to get the hammer from him and grow the Drivemax Ultrazard to match the lava lizards. After his lizards were defeated, Molter returned to his fortress, before kicking Norg out for the failure of the chillers. Later, the Rangers were trying to break open the rock that held the next jewel of the Corona Aurora with help from Thor, actually Loki in disguise. Molter attacked with his lava lizards, but the real Thor appeared and the Fire Being retreated. But after the Rangers broke open the stone to find it contained a powerful compass, the Piedra Aztec del Compass. Instead, Molter reappeared and stole it, before teleporting away. His old friend, Blithjar, arrived and the Fire Being commanded him to use the compass on the Rangers. He succeeded in giving Mac excessive bad luck with the compass and Molter brought Blithjar to a suppository of energy to help finish the Rangers. The Rangers arrived to confront them with Mac bearing numerous good luck charms from his friends, much to Molter and Blithjar's amusement. They didn't help at first and the Fire Being left while Blithjar and some lava lizards fought the Rangers. The Rangers emerged victorious due to Mac using the good luck charms, taking the compass, but Molter returned with an army of lava lizards. While Tizan battled his minions in the Transtech armor, the Fire Being fought the Rangers himself, eventually retreating. Molter helped Blithjar into the energy suppository, growing him to giant size only for the monster to finally be destroyed. Molter later contacted the Fear Cats and offered them invincible armor, in exchange for defeating the Power Rangers. He gave them a map to the armor, but they weren't interested and mobilized a new giant robot. After their robot failed due to being unable to handle the power, the Fear Cats decided to go after the armor. Despite the Rangers' interference, they equipped it to the robot, but the Rangers still defeated them and took the armor, much to Molter's disappointment and anger. Soon after this, Molter, along with Flurious, Camder, Myratrix, and the Fear Cats, was called to a meeting by Thrax. He proposed a temporary alliance between them all to destroy their mutual enemies, the Power Rangers. They agreed, since it would leave Earth open for them to plunder for the jewels of the Corona Aurora. Molter and the rest of the alliance faced off against the Rangers and devastated them in the battle, then combined their energies to cut off the team's link to the morphing grid, leaving them unable to morph. After the Sentinel Knight teleported the Rangers away, Molter and the others set off to find the crown's jewels. However, the Sentinel Knight restored the powers of some previous Rangers, who battled the Evil Alliance in place of the Overdrive Rangers. Molter and the others talked about the fact that Thrax hadn't kept his promise to get rid of the Power Rangers and were getting suspicious of him. Finally, Molter and the rest of the Evil Alliance faced off against the Power Rangers in one final battle. However, they proved unable to win against two Ranger teams, and with Thrax's destruction, were defeated by one final blast from the group, before severing their ties. Sometime after this, Molter was working on another robot that was powered by one of Flurious gyro generators, which he got from the Fear Cats. However, it didn't work and he confronted them about this, but they said they'd kept their part of the deal and told him to find another way. Molter and the Fear Cats attacked the city, luring the Rangers into a trap, and successfully captured Ronnie and Will, as well as the Sentinel Sword. The Fear Cats got angry about taking Will, saying he could be a liability, and Molter agreed to destroy him. Will and Ronnie managed to escape their bonds, but the Fear Cats recaptured Ronnie, who'd stayed to give Will a chance to escape. The Fear Cats brought her to the energy harnessing device, and Molter plugged the Sentinel Sword into a converter that would turn the Sentinel Knight evil or destroy him. Molter activated the device and started draining Ronnie's energy, eventually gaining enough for his robot. He got in a brief fight with the Fear Cats when he left to activate his robot before Ronnie was completely drained. Molter faced off against the Rangers' Zords with help from a now evil Sentinel Knight and a fleet of his Lavadactyls. He managed to devastate them, even blasting the Drive Max Ultrazord into its individual Zords. However, the Rangers struck back with their new Battle Fleet Zords, and suddenly Molter's robot ran out of energy, forcing him to retreat. He began draining more energy, telling the Fear Cats the energy draining machine worked too slowly. However, Molter noticed Will and Norg approaching on a monitor and sent lava lizards to attack them. Will managed to fight them off and infiltrate Modlar's fortress, only to be confronted by the Fire Being himself. They fought and Will won with use of his Drive Slammer, then freed Ronnie, and Molter used what energy he'd gathered to mobilize his robot. The Rangers used the Battle Fleet Megazord to fight him and managed to destroy his robot, forcing Molter and the Fear Cats to retreat. Molter later retrieved the Root of Hesper to keep it out of the hands of the Fear Cats, but was confronted by Ronnie and Mac. He and his lava lizards engaged them, and Molter was eventually defeated by the sudden arrival of Dax. The Fear Cats arrived, taking the Root and taunting the Fire Being, as well as the other villains who'd gotten other relics the Cats were after, but had lost them to the aliens. They watched as the Fear Cats summoned the being, Agrios, then defeated the Rangers, trashing the Rangers' swords. Molter and the others watched Mac and the Flashpoint Megazord have a rematch with Agrios, angered that the Fear Cats would make them their servants when they won. But when the Fear Cats lost, Molter contacted Flurious, saying out he would claim the gems, only for the Ice Being to demand that his brother join him, but he refused. Molter was watching the Rangers as they discovered the location of the last Corona Aurora Jewel and that they needed a key to get to it. However, his volcano fortress began growing unstable, Flurious doing with use of the Corona Aurora Jewel in his possession. Molter pursued the Rangers to Japan and confronted them with the monster, Magmador. They fought and the Fire Being almost managed to get the key, but it burrowed underground, forcing Molter to try and find it again. Magmador used his tentacles to search for the key and brought his master to where it would appear, but the Rangers arrived. Another fight ensued and the Rangers destroyed Magmador, but he revived in giant form and was engaged by the Sentinel Knight. While his monster fought the Sentinel Knight and Tizan in the Flashpoint Megazord, Molter battled the other Rangers. Magmador was destroyed, just as the key appeared, but before the Fire Being could get it, Will took it. After being badly weakened by an attack by Will, Molter retreated to his crumbling lair and marshaled his lava lizards for a final attempt to get the jewel. Suddenly Will arrived to take the crown and the Fire Being and his lava lizards engaged him as the volcano started to erupt. Molter was stuck down as the volcano exploded, but escaped, and went to Flurious with the crown and Bella, Tizan's wife. At first his brother treated him kindly, but he simply froze Molter, then shattered him to pieces. Flurious. Flurious's past is unknown. When he and Molter were children, Flurious broke Molter's little red sled, much to his brother's dismay. He is extremely argumentative, short-tempered, cantankerous, and irritable, attacking Norg at the slightest provocation. He was the first of the two brothers to openly declare hostilities, attacking Molter for the Corona Aurora and declaring it's every man for himself afterwards. He is heavily disdainful, opprobrious, and vituperative for his brother. Flurious considers himself the smarter and more handsome one, laughing at his misfortunes and openly calling him to insult his intelligence. He always thinks of Molter as incompetent, and gets easily annoyed when Molter fails, although he fails too. One can infer from the verbal exchanges of the two siblings that Flurious is the older brother, though this was never stated on screen. Following his release from his prison, Flurious took over Norg's ice cave and enslaved the Yeti, and has been regretful ever since. He has tried several times to make Norg either useful, such as finding the Fear Cat's base and making him run away, or leave, but with no luck. At one point, Flurious went to Molter's base, suggesting that with Myratrix and Camder searching for the jewels, it was time for the two brothers to put their differences aside and work together. They did manage to beat the Megazord with the cyborg Zords Molter built, and capture Mac in the process. Mac used their own suspicions and past issues to set them against each other, and at the end of the episode, they were fighting once more. Flurious is one of the least active of the villains, and has had the least success as a result. He originally tended to not search for the jewels, and just wait for Molter to find them so he could steal them. However, with the Fear Cat's debut, his way of thinking soon changed. He briefly attempted to work with other villains. He brought back the Fear Cats as cyborgs with his gyro technology, intending for them to work for him, and teamed up with Camder to find the cannon of Kiamuk. This backfired when the Fear Cats turned on him near instantly and stole one of his robots, and Camder and Flurious fell out over whose fault it was. All three villains battled each other as a result, and, aside from Thrax's alliance, this was the last Flurious has tried working with others. The only exception since then came when the Fear Cats were destroyed, and Flurious made a one-chance offer to Molter to work for him, though it is unlikely that he thought his brother would actually take him up on the offer. Flurious gets his hands on the third jewel of the Corona Aurora, thanks to Norg. However, he is also very unappreciative and thoughtless towards the poor Yeti. Flurious uses his jewel to destroy Molter's lair, then destroys Molter by luring him to his lair and taking the Corona Aurora before freezing him solid and shattering him. Using the combined power of the blue sapphire and the crown, Flurious was able to locate the Ranger's base where the remaining jewels were hidden. In the final episode, Crown and Punishment, Flurious gets the rest of the jewels for the crown, but the Rangers attack his forces before he can put it on. He freezes the city, and the Rangers freeze during mid-morph. The Rangers escape because of this, and Flurious puts on his crown, transforming into an immensely powerful form. The Rangers manage to use teamwork to fight him back, but he responds by growing giant-sized. The Rangers combat him with the Super Drive Max Megazord and Battlefleet Megazord, but he quickly defeats the Zords, then shrinks back down to human size and he sends out a huge army of chillers. He comments that no mere human can defeat him. Mac says he isn't human, and while the other Rangers take on the chillers, Mac becomes the Red Sentinel Ranger, and he uses everything he has to defeat Flurious. After he is beaten, the crown falls on the ground and he reverts to his original form. Flurious refuses to admit defeat and goes after the crown, only for Mac to stop him and use all of his powers left to finally destroy Flurious with an energy beam and save the world. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Sheen, geez. Those two are dangerous. Lana, no kidding. I use ice. Lola, and I use fire, but we don't complain. Bobo, okay, I've heard of fire and ice being opposites. But those two having a feud is ridiculous. Me, no kidding. Mac, Nico, we heard on the news about what Ricky Beamer said. Nico, and I'm guessing you disagree with him? Ronnie, of course we do. We know you would never let anything bad happen to anyone who's not a bad guy. Rose, he was just saying that because you backed him into a corner. Will Aston, besides, how are you supposed to know that Jean's parents were about to be killed by the Russian mob? Andrew Hartford, Nico, take it from someone who's made some bad mistakes in his lifetime. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters is that you learn from them. Nico, thanks, guys. Crumble Zone, if I knew that Ricky was gonna say all that, I would have pounded his face in. Me, we all would crumble zone. We later went back to the estate. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We were watching TV and reading books. Then the alarm sounded. Me, uh-oh. We got a video call from General Thornton, commander of the US government's BGY project. Me, General Thornton. Salutes, it's an honor to meet you, sir. General Thornton, you too, JD. We've heard so much about you and all of Team Loud Phoenix Storm. But I'm afraid we got some big problems. Me, what's wrong, sir? General Thornton, the Legion Ex Machina, an organization of robots trying to destroy all of Neutronic City, has somehow created their own big guy and it is heading over to Quark Industries. Me, this is bad. We're on our way, sir. We headed out for Neutronic City, Maine. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Neutronic City, Maine. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We arrived in Neutronic City and we saw a fight happening on top of the roof of Quark Tower. Me, looks like a huge fight is brewing. We saw the Legion's version of the BGY-11 called the 11X fighting a little boy robot called Rusty the Boy Robot. Me, whoa. What a battle. I turned on my computer eyes and it analyzed everything about the 11X. It was a true robot and was built by the Legion Ex Machina to destroy the original big guy and gain access to all of the countries and Quark's classified military data and protect humankind from all threats except those from the Legion. Me, whoa. This version of the big guy is terrible. I got this, guys. I snapped my fingers and grew to the size of the 11X. The 11X had its shoulder blaster ready to fire at Rusty. 11X, to the Loo Tinker toy. I tapped the 11X on the shoulder. Me, no one hurts robots on my watch. I punch him in the face and sent him crashing into the wall of the roof building. I grabbed the blaster and ripped it off and threw him and he rebounded and I punched him in the face and headbutt him and knocked him down. I did a pile drive and we crashed through the roof and we were plummeting to the ground. Me, no one disgraces the original big guy, you cheap ripoff. Me and 11X, Candy Graham. I fired energy blasts and the 11X fired his machine guns and missiles and they were hitting both of us and exploded with incredible power and we were enveloped in fire as we were plummeting. When we landed we caused a massive explosion of fire that blew all the windows away. Crab. The 11X was out of ammo. Me, looks like you're out of ammo. I was ready to fight him. I got into a fight stance. Me, shall we dance? 11X, let's. We went at each other and tore each other apart. I punched his face off and kicked him in the chest and I ripped right arm out. 11X had his buzzsaw ready and he slashed me in the arm and I had blood pouring down my arm and I splashed it onto his arm and melted it off. 11X, your power is indeed impressive, JD. Knudsen. But unlike you, I was programmed to destroy people like you. And I have something you don't. Me, and what is that? 11X, one of these. His chest opened up and out came a super powerful particle cannon. Me, a microfusion particle cannon. I got up and he fired and I fired a powerful Kamehameha wave and it overpowered his blast and went into the cannon and overloaded it. 11X, for the love of. He exploded into a massive fiery pile of scrap metal. Crab. The 11X was completely destroyed. Me, no one ruins the big guy's image. The real big guy then landed by me. Big guy, thanks for that, JD. You did really well. Me, thanks, big guy. It's an honor to meet you. Rusty, it's an honor to meet you guys. Me, you too, Rusty. I returned to my normal size and my wounds healed. Dr. Erica Slate then came. Dr. Slate, thank you for saving us, JD. Me, no problem, Dr. Slate. It's a pleasure to meet you in person. Dr. Slate, you too. Let's get the 11X to the lab for analysis. Me, no problem. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Later we ran some analysis on the 11X and we found out some incredible things. General Thornton, so you're saying the Legion didn't just eyeball our big guy to create their own? Dr. Slate, correct. The components of the 11X are identical to those of the original BGY. Garth, identical. Not counting those artificial intelligence gizmos. Dr. Slate, right. Their big guy was a true robot. Which means the Legion must have gained access to Dr. Poindexter's original plans and finally made them work. Me, how is that possible? Lainey, no idea. Lisa, this Legion Ex Machina is very crafty. General Thornton, they are, and Poindexter took everything with him when he went AWOL. Even we don't have those plans. Lincoln, these guys sound really dangerous. Lana, no kidding. Lola, but who are these Legion guys anyway? Dr. Slate, they are a dangerous underground organization of robots that want to destroy all of Neutronic City and rule over it with robots. Me, let's see what the Legion is. I can now access my database through the satellite uplinks in my device. I looked them up. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. The Legion Ex Machina was invented by Dr. Roland Poindexter. His goal was to create what he perceived as the perfect artificially intelligent robots. Poindexter was successful, but that was also his downfall, and his creations soon turned against him. The Legion placed Poindexter in stasis where they had complete access to his mind. The Legion then built a secret base and began their goal to eradicate mankind. Arc 0-12. Argo 12 was the first robot that was created by the Legion. Its purpose was to recruit any other robots to join the Legion. It terminated any of them if they refused the offer. It was powered by packs of nuclear energy that Number 6 stole from where he worked. Argo 12 engaged in a fight with the big guy and was almost successful. It ran low on fuel and was given a defective nuclear pack from Rusty, which then resulted in a massive overload. Argo 12 was then scrapped afterward. Rebellion. Number 6, also known as Dr. Gilder, was placed inside Quark Industries as a mole in order to gather information. He harbored bitter feelings toward the CEO, Quark Donovan, for destroying his inventions. Gilder eventually lost his patience and shifted his focus towards killing Donovan. His first attempt was to hack a robot, but it was stopped by the big guy. He then hacked into Rusty and controlled the boy as an assassin. Dr. Gilder was then stopped when one of Quark's scientists, Dr. Erica Slate, discovered what he was doing. Dr. Gilder chased her to a grinder, lost his skin in the process, and revealed that he was a robot. Then fell into the grinder after Big Guy shot him. The Legion took no pity in the demise of Number 6. Argo 12,000. Argo 12,000 was the Legion's second robot creation. It was a 400 feet version of Argo 12. Argo 12,000 was sent to steal a microfusion generator that could be used to build more robots like it. The body parts of Argo 12,000 were transported through an underground rail station. The remaining piece, the left hand, was salvaged before construction was complete, but that didn't stop the robot from stealing the microfusion generator, which was successful. Argo 12,000 headed towards the nearest ocean, but was shot by a beam from its missing hand. It collapsed and went permanently offline. The generator was then recovered. Stealing Rusty's brain. The Legion built a machine to steal Rusty's mind. It damaged a dam to draw attention. While it was attacked by the big guy, a mechanical orb was released from the backside. The sphere attached to Rusty's head and absorbed his brain waves, which then caused his entire body to go offline. The Legion used the acquired data to access his Rusty's thoughts. Rusty managed to escape their computer network and entered the internet. Number 4 then chased Rusty throughout the internet. The pursuit ended at Quark's digital archives. Big Guy appeared and intervened. He shot Number 4 into a stream of data. The Legion then spent time and repaired Number 4. Project Nova. In order to finish their latest creation, the Legion needed specialized fuel. Their only source was a power plant that manufactured neutrinos. They sent a machine to steal a new kind of neutrinos, antitronic neutrinos. As it began to drain the entire supply, it was interrupted by the Big Guy. Rusty then attempted to download data from the machine's archives. Number 4 attempted to use his own strength to counteract Rusty. Both sides then engaged in a mental tug-of-war. The connection ended after Rusty and Number 4 were overwhelmed. Later, it was revealed that their personalities were swapped. Rusty started to build Project Nova and released it. Rusty went after Nova and so did Number 4. When they reached the scene, Rusty and Number 4 engaged in another mental tug-of-war. That time, there was a swap between their identities. Rusty took full control of Number 4's body. He then short-circuited Nova and deactivated his original body. The brain of Number 4 was then acquired by Quark. Confronting Big Guy. Sometime later, the Legion sent Number 5 to acquire a robot from the Chop Shoppers. Number 5 was greeted by the Big Guy upon his arrival. A fight took place where Number 5 had his cybernetic modification as an advantage. His skin was destroyed after he revealed himself as a robot, but he still had the upper hand in the battle. Big Guy used his own body to smash Number 5 into the ground. Number 5 malfunctioned from the impact and was then shot into a tank of cryogenic ice. His existence came to an end when Rusty shattered his frozen body. Missing colleague. Quark still had the brain of Number 4, and Donovan's nephew, Pierre, stole it for his science project. He then placed the brain inside a toy robot. Once activated, the toy robot escaped. Unaware of the Legion, Pierre had no idea about the possible consequences. Meanwhile, the Legion made plans to eliminate Number 4 because he became incompetent. As revenge for their betrayal, Number 4 attempted to destroy the entire city. He failed when his auto-safety mechanism was activated by the Big Guy and destroyed his head. Sabotaged Rusty's. The remaining 3 members of the Legion acquired a household version of Rusty from Quark Industries. Using their advanced technology, they redesigned the circuitry. Then they connected the robot into a machine and used it to control every other household version. Their first part of their mission was to replace their own batteries with nuclear packs. The next phase was to shoot green beams at Neutronic City, that would annihilate the inhabitants and allow the Legion the opportunity to build a utopia for robots. They were almost successful, but a bomb destroyed all of the Rusties. Fake Big Guy. Frustrated by their constant defeats, the Legion built an exact duplicate of the Big Guy. They dubbed it the BGY-11X. The Legion trapped the real Big Guy in a remote desert. During the BGY-11X's time at Quark Industries, the Legion learned the truth. The Big Guy was piloted by a human, LT. Dwayne Hunter. Despite the efforts of the BGY-11X to act like its counterpart, Rusty became suspicious and found out. The real Big Guy returned after his body and pilot were found. Both the original and the clone then engaged in a brutal fight. The Big Guy won by shooting his arm into the cannon of his opponent. Abduction. The victory was short-lived, however. The Legion then dispatched a clone of the pilot, LT. Dwayne Hunter. It shot Hunter and sent him directly to the Legion's headquarters. Revelation. Upon Hunter's arrival, the Legion introduced themselves. The Legion revealed their creator, who was also their prisoner. Poindexter's mind was a source of data. According to the Legion, they felt no human emotions and therefore overthrew their creator. Their lack of human emotions led the Legion to believe that mankind was inferior. They felt that Hunter was less inferior, but was more problematic. Then Hunter was placed into stasis. Downfall. The Legion's headquarters were soon discovered when Quark found some old schematics. Rusty then promptly flew to the location, saved Hunter, and his presence alerted the Legion. The Legion then engaged in a climatic battle with their enemies. Number 1 equipped himself with blasters, Number 2 utilized his exoskeleton, and Number 3 took control of a giant robot. Poindexter was freed from his prison when the battle started. Poindexter and Rusty were intervened by Number 2. Number 2 then tried to kill Poindexter, but was pulled into a nearby fan which shredded his entire body. Meanwhile, Big Guy and Number 3 were in a fierce fight and were evenly matched. However, Big Guy found a way to defeat his opponent. He pushed Number 3 into a pool of blue acid that melted him. Afterward, Poindexter took cover while Big Guy and Rusty fought Number 1. Number 1 trapped Big Guy and Rusty in a force field and Big Guy lost his left arm in the process. Poindexter then used it to hit a machine which catapulted Number 1 directly into the force field. After Number 1's destruction, the field deactivated. A video message then suddenly appeared and the complex started to self-destruct. Big Guy, Rusty, and Poindexter then escaped. During a later conversation, the members of Quark Industries attempt to reassure Poindexter by saying that they had destroyed all 6 members of the Legion, but Poindexter was struck with a sudden fear as he told them that he had created 7 members. Number 1. The first member who was created and was the last one destroyed. As the leader, Number 1 was in charge of production and tactics. The other members fully respected him. Despite the loyalty, Number 1 took no pity in the death of his own colleagues. Occasionally, he displayed an ironic sense of humor. Number 2. Number 2's exoskeleton was entirely different from his colleagues. He was first who was destroyed in the Legion's downfall. Number 3. Number 3 was emotionless and spoke in a flat tone of voice. His eyes were never revealed. He and Number 2 usually agreed about the same matter. Despite his personality, Number 3 was capable of expressing anger. Number 3 was destroyed before Number 1 in the Legion's downfall. Number 4. Number 4 was the only one who swapped personalities with someone else. He was captured by Big Guy and Rusty. Number 5. Number 5 was equipped with a visor that shot red lasers. Number 5 was the first member who fought the Big Guy. Despite his smaller size, Number 5 was a formidable combatant. Despite his abilities, Number 5 was the most successful member who severely damaged Big Guy. Number 6. Number 6 was also known as Dr. Gilder. He was only one with human emotions. Also, he was the only one without cybernetic parts. Number 6's outer appearance was different from his colleagues. He built robots for Quark Industries, but was actually a mole. He was the Legion's first member who was destroyed. *****. We were shocked. Sheen, I can't believe they are that dangerous. Dr. Slate, but this data you have on them is amazing. Me, it is fascinating. General Thornton, how did you get this data? Me, the most important rule we have, General, is know thy enemy. When we face a bad guy, we have understand how they work, think, feel, and operate and find out what their motives are. Wait. The satellites are picking up an audio transmission. General Thornton, let's hear it. I put the transmission on. Number 1, you're late. Number 6. Number 6, you must appreciate how difficult it is to get here on such short notice. Number 1. Big Guy, that's Dr. Gilder's voice. Dr. Slate, so Dr. Gilder is in allegiance with the Legion. Number 1, perhaps a trial if Quark security hadn't been increased due to a certain incident. Number 3, the Legion has gone to great lengths to position you in Quark Industries, Dr. Gilder. Number 2, it concerns us to see this vendetta of yours jeopardizing that position. Number 6, but Donovan's destroying my robots. Our robots. There's nothing left of KX5 but his head. Number 4, Donovan is insignificant. You are our mole. Our information gatherer. Number 5, not an assassin. You must learn to control your emotions. Number 6. Number 6, I understand. The transmission ended. Me, that was intense. Lola, but they all sounded like Lex Luthor was when we killed him. Me, we didn't kill Luthor. His disease did that on the way to his prison. But the satellites did pick up where the transmission was coming from, and we can now take the fight to the Legion Ex Machina and destroy them all. Dr. Slate, I know you all can do it. Me, let's show those tin cans what happens when humans and robots work together. Dr. Slate, I'm coming with you all. Me, are you sure, Dr. Slate? This is gonna be incredibly dangerous. Dr. Slate, I'm positive. I've been ready for helping you all ever since you all emerged. Rusty, this is gonna be cool, Dr. Slate. Big guy, we're gonna be ready for them. Me, awesome. The satellites picked up the radio transmission from an abandoned hydrogen power plant located 90 miles northeast from here. Dr. Slate, then that must be where we need to go. Me, let's do it. Lincoln, let's get them. We went after the Legion Ex Machina. We were heading to their hideout. We arrived at the power plant. Me, target sighted. Horsa, Maria, where can I hide while you guys are fighting? Maria, you can hide in my backpack till the fight's over. Horsa. Horsa, okay. She did so. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Inside the base, the Legion was working. Number 5, progress. Number 2. Number 2, nearing completion. Then a massive fiery explosion blasted a hole through the ceiling and a phoenix cry was heard. We landed in the hideout and it was loaded with all kinds of machines and equipment. The Legion saw us. We saw that they were bald guys with fancy devices on and wearing lab gear. Number 1, Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Me, so you guys are the Legion Ex Machina. Number 1, indeed. Number 2, how nice of you to pay us a visit. Nico, you guys all almost look the same. Me, not 100%. But right up there. I looked at them with my data eyes and the data I got on them was amazing. Me, whoa. The data on all of you is amazing. You all were built by Dr. Roland Poindexter. Dr. Slate, Dr. Poindexter built you all? Number 1, that's right. We are his masterworks. Number 2, his final creation. Number 3, a bone for his wounded soul. Number 1, after the failure of the BGY-11. But our artificial intelligence was so advanced, it overpowered our human emotion grids. Number 2, thus with no hard feelings, we overthrew our creator. Confirming the superiority of machine over man. Number 1, survival of the fittest. Me, more like an act of cowardice. So that's how you got a hold of the original plans for the big guy. You accessed his brain somehow. Number 4, indeed. Number 5, say hello to our creator. They showed a tank and inside it was Dr. Roland Poindexter. He was in a state of suspended animation in a tank full of some kind of water and he was hooked up to all kinds of machines. Dr. Slate, Poindexter. Me, you killed him. Number 1, no. The good doctor is very much alive. Number 2, fused with our technology. If he were conscious, we are certain he would appreciate the irony. Lisa, ingenious. You all tapped into his gray matter in his neurological network. Me, very interesting. Private, they're identical. What are we looking for? Skipper, the look of unsustained pure evil. Number 4, I've got news for you, Penguin. We all want to see you heroes get what's coming to you. Me, and now we've come to stop you once and for all. Let's take them down. We went at them. We split up into 6 groups and went at them. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 1, Nico, Lori Loud, Paylin, Vita Rocca, Rose Ortiz, Girl Jordan, Depth Charge, Beast Wars, Luna Loud, Irma, May and Abby Martin vs number 6. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 1 was facing number 6 aka Dr. Gilder. Nico punched him in the face and he crashed into the wall. Number 6 then ripped off his clothes and artificial skin and they saw that he was a robot far more advanced than what we faced when we faced HARDAC. Nico, whoa. He's far more advanced than anything we've ever seen. Girl Jordan, he sure is much different than the robots we heard about from when we faced HARDAC. Luna, no kidding dude. Number 6, you all are stupid fucked up humans. Nico, same to you freak. You are an overzealous walking tin can. Hey Lin, time for you to be blown by the storm. Hey Lin fired a massive blast of wind and blew him around in a powerful tornado and she threw him into the wall. Rose Ortiz turned invisible and punched number 6 in the face and sent him crashing into the wall. Depth charge. Beast Wars, time for you to face the Manta Ray. Depth charge. Maximize. Depth charge transformed and he fired powerful missiles at number 6 and they hit him and exploded. Crab bohohohohohohoam. The explosion blew him in half and girl Jordan, Luna, Irma, May, and Abby fired a powerful blast of water and it soaked him and shorted him out and he was sputtering. Nico, number 6, you have failed this world. Number 6 exploded and he was reduced to scrap metal. Kaboom. Lori, that is literally it for him. Irma, you said it Lori. He gives all robots everywhere a really bad name. Depth charge. I agree with you there Irma. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 2, Lola, Tyranny, Mac Hartford, Nick Russell, Darcy, Lori Jimenez, Volcana, Sam SL, Lenny Loud, and Michael Monroe vs number 5. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Lola fired a powerful blast of fire at number 5 and it hit him and exploded. It burned his jacket and his jacket had a hole in his back revealing his robot back. Lola, that is gross. Michael Monroe, no kidding. Let's burn this creep. Lori J, let's. Lola, Tyranny, Lori J, Sam SL, and Michael fired a massive blast of fire and it hit number 5 and burned him all over. His burned clothes and artificial skin fell off and he was now in his robot form. Tyranny, wow. So this is what you look like. Lola, incredible. Darcy, amazing. I may be a cyborg but even I know how to respect the laws of robotics. Lori J, me too. Volcana, this is insane. I can't believe Dr. Poindexter built all of you. Lola, let's melt him. They fired a massive blast of fire and lightning and destroyed him. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 3, Luan, Winx Club Stella, Chip Torn, Ronnie Robinson, Eddie, Boone Dixon, Lizzie Morris, Lana Loud, Bloom, Lincoln, Will Vandam, Earth, and Shrapnel vs number 4. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Luan fired a powerful blast of light and burned his face off. They saw his robot face. Lana, whoa. He sure is a cool robot. Lincoln, he sure is far more advanced than what Lisa builds. Stella, Winx no kidding. Ronnie Robinson, it's a cool robot though. Lizzie, I would not want to have him for a science fair project. Eddie, none of us would. Luan, he sure lacks scientific robotics. Laughs, get it? Bloom, love the jokes Luan but now is not the time. Ronnie Robinson used her super speed and punched number 4 all over the place. Lincoln, time to electrocute this robot to death. Lincoln, Will Vandam, Shrapnel and Boone Dixon fired a powerful blast of lightning and electrocuted number 4 and he exploded. Kablam. Chip Torn, that's it for him. Lana, yep. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 4, Carol, Lynn, Cornelia, Will Aston, Xander Bly, Jillian Gerard, Beast Wars Inferno, Han, and Sheen vs number 3. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Number 3 was facing Group 4 and he was in a huge robot suit. Carol fired Godzilla's atomic ray and it hit the suit and completely destroyed it. Julian Gerard fired a glob of lava and burned his skin off and revealed his robot form. Carol, whoa. What an awesome robot. Lisa would love a robot like this. Xander, Australian accent, he sure would. Sheila. Pan, let's blast this clod into nothing. Inferno, Beast Wars, let's do it for the boss. Inferno, terrorize. He transformed. They all blasted him and destroyed him. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 5, Brittany Knudsen, Brittany Crosby, Roxy, Winx Club, Dag Aaron, Dizon, Lucy Loud, Lucy Dark, Wolfang, Beast Wars, and Oceanus Shenron BS number 2. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 5 was facing number 2. He was an interesting robot with long telescoping arms. Brittany K, let's see how you like this. Brittany fired a powerful blast of dark energy and blew him in half. It was a powerful and explosive fight. Wolfang, let's see him survive this. Wolfang, maximize. Wolfang transformed and he grabbed one of number 2's arms and tied it to one of his grappling hooks and he fired it and it sent him going into the fan and it ripped him to shreds and he exploded. Brittany Crosby, that was very clever. Oceanus Shenron, it sure was. That was really clever. Lucy Loud, he just hit the fan. Dag Aaron, good riddance. Tizon, let's help JD deal with the last one. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 6, JD, Very, Lisa Loud, Tnay, Flora, Layla, Madison Rocca, Dax Low, Sakura Avalon, Jared Knudsen, Linka Loud, Lainey Loud and Lily Loud vs number 1. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Group 6 was facing number 1. Me, it's just you and us now number 1. Number 1, indeed. Now you will die. Then he had 2 powerful energy blasters pop out of his back and he was ready. Me, let's dance. I ignited my lightsaber and he fired red energy blasts at us and I deflected them with my lightsaber. We fired energy blasts, nucleo-proton blasts, and so much more. It was a massive firefight and it was blowing much of the entire hideout apart. We were firing energy blasts and more and we were tearing him apart. Eddie, fires at number 1's guns. Let's see how your firepower fares against mine. Eddie blew his blasters apart with his blasters. Me, let's blow him apart with our teamwork and final smashes. Xander, right mate. Xander went into his Mystic Muscles form and Will had his Drive Slammer. Xander Bly and Will Aston, Overdrive Mystic Super Slam. They ran fast and rammed number 1 with devastating force. Mac had his Drive Lance ready and Nick had his Magi Staff in sword mode. Mac Hartford and Nick Russell, Overdrive Mystic Phoenix Slash. They slashed number 1 with a powerful blade of red fire energy. Vita fired a powerful blast of pink energy from her Magi Staff and Rose fired a massive blast of energy from her Drive Geyser. Vita Rocca and Rose Ortiz, Overdrive Mystic Butterfly Barrage. Their blasts combined and turned into a powerful barrage of energy bomb butterflies and they hit number 1 all over. Ronnie Robinson had her Drive Claws ready and Chip Thorne had his Magi Staff in crossbow mode. Ronnie Robinson and Chip Thorne, Overdrive Mystic Garuda Slash. Ronnie Robinson slashed number 1 and Chip fired numerous yellow blasts of energy. Madison fired powerful blasts of blue energy from her Magi Staff and Dax fired a powerful blast of wind from his Drive Vortex. Madison Rocca and Dax Low, Overdrive Mystic Mermaid Vortex. The blasts combined and turned into a spirit mermaid with wings and it slammed into number 1 and exploded. Dag Aaron, let's get him. Dag Aaron fired a massive blast of solar light from his laser lamp and Tizon fired a massive blast of mercury energy from his drive detector. Dag Aaron and Tizon, Overdrive Mystic Solar System Burn. The blasts combined and turned into the sun and the planet Mercury and they slammed into number 1 and exploded. Trailbreaker, time for some heavy firepower. Cyber Key Power. The Earth Cyber Planet key went into his back and enhanced his abilities 100-fold, as well as enabled him to fire powerful blasts of lightning from his eyes. Bobo haha. Let's get him. Animatron Cyber Key Power. The Animatron Cyber Planet key went into his right arm device and he formed a powerful energy sword in his hand. Trailbreaker and Bobo haha. Lightning Energy Force Slash. Trailbreaker fired a powerful blast of lightning and it merged with his sword and he slashed number 1. Crumble Zone. Let's get this clawed. Cyber Key Power. The Velocitron Cyber Planet key went into his back and his shoulder cannons popped out. Lasher. Let's do it. Animatron Cyber Key Power. The Animatron Cyber Planet key went into his right arm device and it enhanced his symbiote powers 100-fold. Crumble Zone and Lasher. Super Crumble Cannon Spear Burst. Crumble Zone fired his shoulder cannons and laser fired numerous stars made of symbiote matter and they hit number 1 and exploded. Crab Me. Let's finish this clod. Dr. Slate. I'll start us off. Nucleo-Proton Blast Wave. Dr. Slate fired a massive blast of nucleo-proton energy and it hit number 1 and exploded. Crab Rusty. Sure a shootin' ready for this. Nucleo-Proton Firestorm. Rusty fired a massive blast of nucleo-proton energy and it hit number 1 all over and exploded. Crab Hawk Girl. Let's see how he likes Thanagarian metal. Thanagar Super Slam Mace. Hawk Girl charged up her mace and slammed it onto number 1 with devastating force, blowing him in half. Big guy. Time to finish him for good. Super Weapon Barrage Firestorm. Big guy fired all his weapons from his arms and head and let all hell loose on number 1 and blew him apart into nothing. Number 1 was dead. Me? Yet. Nico. Legion Ex Machina. You have failed this universe. Sheen. And then some. Then we saw another robot. Number 7. Getting away. Lola. Number 7 is getting away. Hawk Girl. Let him go. Us killing the others is enough for today. Me? Yep. Lana. And we rescued Dr. Poindexter too. Then a computer image appeared and it was a message from the Legion Ex Machina. Number 1. On computer. If you are viewing this message, it would seem we have no doubt met our demise. Number 2. On computer. How unfortunate. Number 3. On computer. However, be assured that you shall not scrutinize our technology. Number 1. Or escape. Then the whole place was rumbling. Me. This whole place is gonna blow. We got out of there fast as the whole base went up in flames and massive explosions. The Legion Ex Machina was defeated and we would face number 7 when the time came. Nico Kata Kamfe and Oranguru. Rusty. To the viewers. Never mess with the laws of robotics or you will answer to us. Me. You got that right, Rusty. We moved Neutronic City to Gotham Royal York and made it into a planned city like the rest. And we placed Neutronic City under our protection. Nico was talking to the Operation Overdrive Rangers boss Mr. Andrew Hartford. Nico. To Andrew Hartford. You want us to beam your mansion next to ours? Andrew Hartford. I would like that, Nico. We beamed his mansion to Gotham Royal York. The end. Asterisk. Another fanfiction complete and an evil organization destroyed. Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot was one of my favorite shows from back when I was a kid. From September 18th, 1999 to March 5th, 2001 it was so cool. It's a shame it couldn't continue because after the last episode it left us with a massive cliffhanger. What a rip. But it was still a great show. This chapter is also a tribute to famous gunnery sergeant of the United States Marine Corps, R. Lee Ermey, who is one of the most famous sergeants of the Marines. He was a tough one and he will always be remembered. R.I.P. R. Lee Ermey, March 24, 1944 to April 15, 2018. Plays taps. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time. Big Guy and Rusty is owned by Dark Horse Entertainment, Columbia TriStar Entertainment, Adelaide Productions, Frank Miller, and Geoff Darrow.